Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Esther Jelenke and I'm happy to have you on this platform. To all my subscribers, I say thank you so much. Thank you for sticking with me, even though I was away for so long last year, but I'm happy to be back and I say thank you for staying and sticking with me. If you're new here, welcome. This platform is based on my experience on how I have managed to raise a child with special need, autism. And I also share my own personal experiences of what the challenges that I had gone through and how some way, somehow, God has helped me to overcome those challenges. And also recently I said that I will be sharing my own personal experience on singleness, as a person, young Christian that was single, how God helped me whilst I was single, and also how I manage marriage and also managing bringing up children in this environment, Western country in the UK. So if this sounds good to you, please click that subscription button and be part of this family. Okay, recently there has been this news of Osinachi, a singer, a popular Christian singer, going around on how she was abused by her husband. And to be honest with you, I was upset. I was upset with all the things that, I heard happen to that lady. And thinking about it, I was thinking to myself, why did she take so much? Why did she stick with it? Why didn't she walk away? Why didn't she seek for help? And all those things had been, he's been on my mind and had been pondering on them. I just began to think about it and just wondering what could have been going through her mind and why she took so much on. And also I started to just do, to research on this abusive situation that some people find themselves in. And also thinking about myself and how I had gone through abuse as well. And when I say abuse, I never witnessed or had the experience of domestic abuse, but I had been abused, in one way or the other. So I just thought about it and I decided that I would like to share my own personal opinion on this word abuse. And when I say personal opinion, it's totally my own opinion and my own experiences. I'm not a professional person and I'm not coming as a professional person. So everything that I'm going to be sharing with you would be in my own perspective of how I see this word called abuse. And also I would like you to share with me, what your opinions are and what you think about whatever it is that I will be sharing with you today. Like I said, I'm going to be talking on abuse, that word abuse, and I'm going to be sharing what is the definition of an abuse. Also, I'm going to be looking into why do people abuse? Why do they abuse others? And I'm going to be also looking at why do they remain in an abusive marriage? Also, I will be looking into the effect of abuse on victims. And in conclusion, I will be looking at how, if you have been abused, how you can manage and overcome that trauma that you have gone through. So those are the topics that I'm going to be dealing with today. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to cover everything in one video because I don't really want my video to be long. But if I'm unable to cover everything in this video, I will split it into two, meaning that I will have a part 1 and I will also have a part 2. So I will upload a part of it and hopefully next week I would conclude. What is abuse? the definition of that word abuse is any action that intentionally harms or injures somebody else. When you treat somebody with cruelty, then you are abusing that person. Anyone who purposefully harms another person in any way is committing abuse. And it's not only between husband and wife, or wife, or boyfriend and girlfriend. It could be from friends. It could be in-laws, mother-in-law, father-in-laws, brother-in-laws. It could be your boss at work. It could be your colleagues. It could be your friends at church. Anywhere, anyone can be an abuser. So please don't think that domestic abuse between husband and wife is the only abuse. Anyone can be an abuser. There are many kinds of abuse that we encounter. And they can be physical abuse. They can be psychological abuse. It could be rape. Yeah. It could be sexual abuse, which is, sexual abuse. It doesn't have to be rape. It could be verbal abuse. It could be financial abuse. Yeah. Spiritual abuse from your spiritual fathers or spiritual sisters, and it could be emotional abuse. So those are the kinds of abuse that we can encounter. And these kinds of abuse can be from anyone, from a father to a child, from a mother to a child or to their children, between siblings, between uncles and nieces and bosses at work. Like I said, it could be from anybody. So if you have gone through any of those things that I've counted, you have been abused. And one thing that I want you to understand is we need to be aware that we can be an abuser. I can be an abuser. Anyone can be an abuser, because if you treat anybody, you purposely treat anybody in a rough, unkind manner, you are an abuser. So now I want to look into, why do you think people abuse? And I would like you to know, please, that I'm looking at why people abuse because I had been thinking about what Osinachi went through and why she stuck with it. And why did her husband do that? What is it? What is behind these abuses? What is it? So in any way, please note that I am not justifying or sympathizing with abusers. Not at all. I just thought about why people can be so inhuman to treat other people cruelly. And also, I was thinking, what would make anybody hurt another person? Why would I want to see my sister or my brother going through pain? So I just thought about, okay, let me do some thinking and some research into why do I think people do this? I have gone through abuse from different angles. I've been abused by from different angles, and I will be going into that in a minute. But now I just want to discuss, why is it that people abuse others? So my intention on this is to share with you how I felt, to just shed light into how I felt when I was abused. So now, why do people abuse? Why do you think people abuse? Okay, the first thing that I think, the reason why people abuse is that I think these people have something that is called disorder. They have a disorder. Some people have an antisocial personality disorder. And so therefore they gain pleasure in inflicting harm on others and seeing people go through pain. So they they enjoy seeing other people go through pain. And it is even more of a pleasure to them when they are the one inflicting that pain on that person. I don't think a normal person can, enjoy hurting other people. So I think these people possibly have what they called a disorder, antisocial disorder. The second reason could be possibly because they too were abused, either when they were young or as a grown-up person. And they would feel that because it was done to them, they will like to pass it on to others. So it can be a subconscious effort to sort out their own abuse. So they could inflict exactly what they went through. They can inflict it on the other person. So like, for example, if maybe a boy was abused when he was young by a man, when he gets older, he might start abusing his girlfriend or his wife. So because they had gone through it, they will want to pass it on to other people as well. It doesn't mean that it is right. But this is another reason why I think people abuse. Also, another reason that people abuse, another reason could be maybe they watched a movie. They watched something. And because they watched it, it triggers that behavior in them. And that is why, as a Christian, we have to be careful what we watch. Psalm 101 verse 3 says that I will set nothing wicked before my eyes. I hate the work of those who fall away. It shall not cling to me. So, listening to some music, watching some movies, some videos, some TV shows could actually trigger this behavior in people. And this can be another reason why people abuse. Another reason why I think people abuse could be they have anger issue. They cannot manage their anger. And this is one of the things that could happen, especially if you have not given your life to Christ. Because the Bible says, if you are in Christ, you are a new creature and all things are passed away. Meaning that your bad behavior are passed away. Your old self is gone, had been crucified, and you are now new in Christ. So therefore, whatever things you do will be like Christ if you are a Christian. So Christians should be able to manage their anger. If you're a Christian and you don't or cannot manage your anger, then you need to go back to your knees and ask God to help you to be able to manage your anger and possibly go back to basic. So anger could be another reason why people abuse, when they can't just manage or control their anger. And anger could be triggered through maybe some traumatic events that they had witnessed in the past. That could trigger their anger as well. Or maybe a place or circumstances. I have people that have said that they would not go to a particular church anymore. Not because that church is bad, but because of the experience they went through whilst they were attending that church. So when they go back, it would trigger, their traumatic experience, and that could make them to react or behave in a badly way. Another reason why I think people could be an abuser is because they lack empathy. They don't care about their victims. They don't care how their victims feel. Maybe this was caused by their personality disorders and the traumas that they've been through. Maybe that could be why people lack empathy. I remember when I lost my mom, before my mom passed away, I would worry and cry of how I would manage, if my mom should pass away. And when my mom passed away, when I hear of anyone losing their mom, it wasn't like I just didn't feel I would empathize or sympathize. I don't know. But I didn't dwell on it as I used to, because in the past, when I hear somebody, that lost their mom before my mom passed away, I would feel it. And I think maybe I was feeling and empathizing and possibly cry with that person because I was thinking, oh my days, what would I do if my mom passed away? So this, having gone through some traumatic experience could affect them so badly that they have now lost that human empathy and they just don't care about people anymore. Another reason why I think people can abuse is when they use that as a defensive mechanism, such as denial, of maybe a behavior, or maybe they are caught, when they've done something wrong and you're caught red-handed. The first reaction is to defend yourself. And some people, they will use that as that mechanism to defend themselves and start abusing the person that caught them doing something wrong. So for example, it's like, maybe you catch somebody in the act of committing an adultery or fornication. And rather than them apologizing or something, they'll bounce back on you. So they're using that as a defensive mechanism. So that could be another reason why they abuse. An abusive person may have some or all of those traits that I've just mentioned. It depends on their circumstances. And like I said, this is not to justify the abuser's behavior, but I am sharing this to help the victims, to understand possibly some reasons why somebody is abusing them. And that could help them to be able to manage and seek help. And also it would help them to understand why someone is an abuser. So if you have noticed yourself to be an abuser, with all that I have shared now, if you can see yourself doing any of those things, then you are an abuser and you need help. You need help. And I would advise that you seek help as soon as possible. If you see yourself hurting other people, you are abusing them. If you see yourself using abusive behavior, either emotionally, physically, you don't even have to hit. If you are abusing people emotionally, you are an abuser. So if you know that you have any of those traits, you need help and you need to stop. Now I'm going to go into why do people stay in an abusive marriage? Why do you think Osinachi took so much pain and just bore everything and managed it and decided to stay in it for as long as she did until her death? Why do you think people do that? Like I said, I do not have a first-hand experience of being abused by a partner or a husband, but I will just be sharing with you my research and my own thoughts, my opinion on why I think people remain in an abusive relationship. Some people might remain in an abusive relationship because they might not even know that they are going through abuse because it's not physical. There is no violence involved, so they would not count it as being abused. Also, some people downplay emotional abuse because it is not as bad as physical abuse. Also, it is hard for them to leave their partners because they have been made to feel worthless and feel that there is no better person or better way, or they just feel worthless. So they will downplay that behavior that they're receiving from their partner, and they will not see it or count it as being abused. I have a friend that is going through emotional abuse by her husband. And I don't understand how this person has remained in that marriage for so long. And when I mean emotional, horrible, horrible abuse in the hands of her husband in so many ways. It has also been physical. But it's like they just cannot get it no matter what you tell them. They just don't understand it. So they downplay it and they don't think that it's that serious. So they remain in that marriage. Another reason why I think people remain in an abusive marriage is because our society supports it. And I'm going to explain myself before you guys, cast a stone at me. The society that we live in right now supports abusive marriage, supports abusive relationship. Why do I say so? The types of music that the society allows these days, the types of movies that are released, the types of TV shows that people watch, that they watch these days, supports domestic abuse. And it doesn't really have to be domestic abuse, supports any abuse. So this society that we live in, this life, this world that we are living in, needs to be, I blame them as well. And I think they support abuse. And this is the reason why people just think it is normal. Because when they watch a movie, they watch soaps, TV soaps, and they see these things happen, they just assume that it is a norm thing. And it is not normal. There was a time that I was addicted, let me say, to one TV soap in this London. And I would run from anywhere I was to watch that TV soap. In those days, there was no Sky. There was no way of recording episodes and watching afterwards. So I would run from wherever I was to watch it. But why did I stop watching it? And I had stopped watching these episodes over 10 years now. Even though it's still going on, I don't watch it anymore. It's disgusting to me. Why? Because there was a time they brought in a particular person, an actor, a black man. They brought that person into the scene who claims that he was a pastor, and he was abusing his family, his wife. He was a nasty character. And at the end, he committed murder and covered it up. And they called him a pastor. And that was it. I thought, you know what? I've had enough of this. And I'm not watching this TV soap anymore. And that was how I stopped watching it. I don't even watch TV soaps anymore. Because the things that comes out of this TV series and these movies, they're just rubbish. And so these are the things that people watch. And when they see people being abused and they stay in that relationship, they don't seek for help. They just think it is norm. And so therefore they stay in their marriage or in that relationship. And that is why I said that the society that we live in should be blamed. And they also support abusive relationship. And this is the reason why people just go through it and take it all in. Another reason why I think people stay in an abusive relationship is, after their partner after they have abused them, there's some people, when they finish abusing their partner, their wives, their husband, whatever, then they realized what they've done. And then they start crying. And now they start apologizing, start begging. And sometimes maybe they would, buy flowers, take them out, trying to make things better. And when they do that, The partner who has been abused would just think that, oh, he or she is sorry, and so therefore he's ready to change. And then they will let me give him another time. And this is what I heard happen to Osinachi, that she kept saying that her husband would change. Her husband would change. She was hoping that he would change. She's not here to tell us if after every abuse, he went on his knees and begged her. We don't know. But there was something that was telling her that he would change. And this could be because after he had done it, we call it something that is, let's say, a makeup honeymoon. He starts to beg, he starts to apologizing and saying that I will change. And because of this, many women, they stay in an abusive marriage, hoping and expecting that their partners will change. But anyone who abuses a woman or a woman that abuses her husband, whichever way, can never change. That person needs Jesus. I don't care about therapy or whatever this world tells you. They can go for as many therapy as they want to. But if you don't have Jesus, it's hard for you to change. So if you are an abuser, you need God in your life. And you need Jesus. And you need to change. And you need to change now. Another reason why some people stay in an abusive relationship or marriage is because of their culture. I am an African person. I come from Nigeria, even though I live in the UK. And our culture is that every woman must have a husband because a husband is the crown of their head. And if they don't have a husband, it's like they are crownless. They don't have a crown. And they're not respected. Nobody cares about them. They are useless. I even understand that in Nigeria, where I come from, landlords don't want to rent their properties to single parents or single women. They will ask you to go and call your husband. What a stupid world. And because society takes it so highly that a woman must have a husband, people just stay in an abusive marriage and they just try to continue to manage. Even though they are dying, they don't want people to see them as someone who don't have a crown on their heads. And so they stick with it. What a foolish way to think. And if they manage to share what they're going through with anyone, maybe their friends or their parents or, I don't know, families, they'll say, oh, what's going to happen to your children? Oh, how are you going to manage? You can't, you better stay. You better stay because of these children. You can't leave your children or you can't take your children away. So just manage it. God will help you. God will help you. God will help you until you die. I disagree with that. I will never agree to anyone remaining in a marriage, in an abusive marriage, a marriage whereby you are going through hell, pain in the hands of your husband. Come on. It doesn't make sense. Please, let's take that ideology out and let's try and open our arms to people and let them know that it's okay. It's okay if they're going through an abuse, that it's okay for them to leave that marriage. It's okay for them to walk away alive than what happened to Osinachi. Yes, I believe that. Another reason why I think people remain in an abusive marriage is they will be thinking about how others will see them, how their parents will see them. You know, this is also related to culture. How people would say to their parents, oh, I heard your daughter is no more with her husband. Oh, I heard your sister has left. And the way people raise their nose, you know, and the way people look down on them. And because of this, people don't want to go through that. So they stayed in an abusive marriage. And also some children go through hell in the hands of their friends at school. Oh, I heard your mom has left. Oh, I heard your daddy left you. Or your daddy abandoned you. And so therefore, you don't have a daddy. They're going through hell as well. And it is because of the society. And because of all of this, women just remain. They remain in an abusive marriage. I don't think men will stay in a marriage whereby their wives is abusing them. I don't think so. Men have that courage. They will walk away. So it is always mostly women that remains in an abusive marriage. And I think it is time. It is high time we stopped this. It is high time people started to think that it is okay for them to just leave that marriage for now and go and seek help. It is good for them. It is okay for them to do so. Another reason why I think people remain in an abusive marriage is because of the social pressure to be seen as being in a perfect relationship. They see, and I can blame social media for this. Yes, social media is another reason why people stay. Because they see other partners, they see couples posting their pictures on social medias, showing, high love, pretending. Some are pretending. They're pretending to have a perfect relationship. And they just keep posting their pictures of their partners, their husband, their wives, their family. They post them every week. And people see them and think, oh, what a perfect family. And they wouldn't know that it's only a front package. They're packaging. And because of this, people will be under pressure to make their marriage work, thinking, oh no, I want to have a perfect relationship as well. I want it to work. I want it to work. I want it to work. And they will be there struggling, going through that pain. So that is another reason. Social media. Please, if you're going through hell in the hands of your partner, if you're going through hell in the hands of your husband, please stop it. Stop looking at social media and comparing other people to you. Stop comparing relationships to yours. Most of them are lying. It's all packaging. Look unto Jesus. We are all different. My mom always said to me that, look at your fingers. When I used to ask her questions, Mom, why are we? And Mom would say, show me your finger, your hand. How many fingers do you have? And I would say 5. And my mom would ask me, are your fingers equal? And I would look at them. That was when I was growing up. And I would say, no, they're not equal. And my mom would say, so we're not all equal. And if I ask my mom, why is this family like this? Why do they do this? My mom will ask me, what is your name? Your name is Esther. So are you Busola or are you Anne? So you're not Anne. You're different. So we are all different. So stop comparing relationships that you see on Facebook, on Instagrams, on social media. Stop comparing them to yours. Because I can tell you, if you go into that home, it's all packaging, lies. So they might be going through hell, and it's just like a coping mechanism to come on social media and start posting. So people won't have any ideas. Go look at what you are going through. And if you see that you're going through hell in the hands of your husband or partner, try and seek for help. Don't take it. Another reason why people stay in an abusive marriage is they might think, oh, you know what, if I stick with it, things will change. I understand that was what Osinachi was saying. Oh, my husband will change. He will change. Yes, he will change. Says who? He will change 1 year. He will change 2 years. He will change 3 years. This lady had a child. I think the eldest is like 11 or 12. I don't know. So for that long, this guy did not change. So what makes you think he will change? And the reason why they think it will change is because of the love they have for this man. They're hoping that this man would change. And another reason could be maybe because they are believers, they're Christians. And they've heard many times sermons on there is no divorce and remarriage, which I believe in. God do not like divorce. And if you must leave your partner, then you will have to remain as long as that man or woman is alive. So I believe that. But the Bible does not support abuse. So please, don't think that you can remain and continue to take it, praying that God will change this man. If this man doesn't ask for help, if he doesn't see himself an abuser, if he doesn't see himself as an abuser that needs help, he's not going to change. So I'm telling you, please, if you're going through any form of abuse, physical, emotional, financial, whatever it is, you need to seek help. Don't think he's going to change if he doesn't even know he's an abuser. So please run for your life. And the last reason why I think people remain in an abusive marriage is because sometimes they blame themselves. They feel personally responsible for the way the abuser has treated them. They think, oh, it's because I triggered that bad behavior in him. Oh, it's because of what I said. Oh, it's because of what I did. They blame themselves and not the abuser. Because of that, they remain in that marriage. You need to stop blaming yourself. It's not what you said or what you did. No one has the right to abuse you, no matter what you said. No matter as long as you did not abuse them, as long as you did not do any form of harm towards them, no one has the right to harm you, no matter your behavior. So please don't blame yourself. Don't think it is your fault that they are abusing you. I think I would like to stop this video at this junction. So next week I'll be covering two topics. I'll be covering the effect of abuse on victims, and also I will be covering how you can overcome that traumatic experience of abuse. So yeah, I would like to stop here. So thank you for tuning in. I would like you to please share your opinions on the topics that I have discussed with you. Share your opinions with me in the comment section. Let me know if you agree with me or disagree. Just let me have your reasoning in the comment section. And so next week, I will be covering the topics on the effect of an abuse on victims and how you can overcome that horrible traumatic experience of being abused. So if you have not subscribed to my channel, I don't know what you're doing. What are you even doing? Please, let's get this channel to at least 1,000 subscribers or 500. Let's do that. So please share this video with your friends, with family, because I noticed that a lot of people are watching and they are not subscribed. So please subscribe to this channel, share it with your friends and family, and be part of this wonderful family. I hope to see you next week to conclude this topic, abuse. Until then, take care of yourself and see you in my next video. God bless you. Take care. Bye-bye.